Do you ever feel a heavy emptiness inside you? Like no matter what you achieve, no matter who loves you, there's a part of you that still feels left behind. That ache you carry is not weakness, is the wound of abandonment. And today, you are going to break free from it. Not tomorrow, not someday, but now. There is a deep truth. Every wound that life gives us also carries the seed of our transformation. The wound of abandonment may have come from being left, rejected, or unseen, but it does not define you. It is a scar, not your identity. And if you stay with me, you will learn how to rise from this pain into a strength you never imagined. The very first step in healing the wound of abandonment is the willingness to acknowledge it without shame. So many people carry this wound silently, pretending it does not exist, burying it under work, achievements, relationships, or endless distractions. But ignoring it never makes it disappear. It only pushes it deeper into the unconscious, where it festers and influences our choices in hidden ways. To face the wound directly is an act of profound bravery. It means you are no longer running from your pain. You are turning toward it with open eyes. And in that act of facing, you begin to take back the power that was once stolen from you. Acknowledgement is not about victimhood, it is about truth. The truth is that at some point in your journey, you experienced abandonment. It might have come from a parent who was emotionally or physically absent. It might have come from a lover who left you without explanation, or from friends who betrayed you, or from life itself, which seemed to strip away everything you relied on. Whatever the source, the wound is real. And saying to yourself, yes, I was abandoned, yes, I was hurt, is not weakness. It is a declaration of self. It is the refusal to live in denial. Shame often keeps us from acknowledging our pain. We fear that if we admit it, we are somehow proving that we were not strong enough. But the truth is the opposite. Strength is not the absence of wounds. Strength is the ability to stand in the presence of your wounds and not look away. When you acknowledge the wound of abandonment, you step out of the illusion that pretending is strength, and you step into the reality that honesty is the gateway to healing. Think of it this way. A wound left untreated becomes infected, but when you uncover it, when you clean it, when you allow the air of awareness to touch it, healing begins. The same is true for emotional wounds. Acknowledgement is the cleansing process. It may sting at first, it may bring tears, anger, or grief to the surface. But these emotions are not signs of weakness, they are signs that life is moving again through you, that the frozen parts of your heart are thawing. That healing has already begun. Acknowledging your wound means declaring to yourself, I no longer need to hide. I no longer need to pretend. My pain is real, but it does not make me less. It makes me human. And because I can face it, I will rise above it. This is the moment the chains begin to break. To release the false belief of unworthiness, you must first understand how it was planted within you. Abandonment carries with it a cruel illusion. When someone important leaves, rejects, or fails to love us, the mind often interprets that event as evidence that we were not enough. The child who is left behind thinks, if I had been better, if I had been lovable, they would have stayed. The adult who is betrayed whispers, if I had been worthy, this would not have happened. But these are not truths. They are distortions born out of pain. The wound of abandonment convinces you that you are the problem, when in reality, the failure was never yours to own. Unworthiness is a story, not a fact. It is a story repeated so often in the mind that it begins to feel like reality. But just because something feels real does not mean it is true. People leave for many reasons because of their own wounds, their fears, their limitations, their inability to give love freely. Their departure reflects them, not you. Yet, if you continue to carry their leaving as proof of your inadequacy, you are allowing someone else's brokenness to define your value. That is like letting a cracked mirror convince you that your face is flawed. The process of releasing this false belief begins with challenging it every time it rises. When that whisper of, I wasn't good enough enters your mind, you must meet it with a stronger voice that says, I am, and I always have been, enough. This is not just empty affirmation. It is reclaiming your truth. Because the reality is, worthiness is not earned, it is inherent. From the moment you were born, before you achieved anything, before anyone praised or rejected you, you were worthy. No wound, no abandonment, no loss can erase that. To let go of the lie of unworthiness is to stop begging the world for proof that you deserve love, and to start standing in the truth that you are love itself. It is to stop measuring yourself by who stayed or who left, and to begin measuring yourself by the courage it takes to heal. You are not defined by the absence of another. You are defined by the presence of your own strength. And the moment you release this false belief, you step into a freedom that no one can take away from you. Pain is not only a reminder of what was lost, it is also the seed of transformation waiting to be awakened. When you have been abandoned, the immediate reaction is to shrink, to believe you are powerless, to feel as though life has stripped you of something essential. But within the very center of that pain lies a hidden force. Pain can break you down. Yes, but if you choose, it can also become the fuel that lifts you to a higher level of strength. The wound of abandonment is not just a scar to be carried. It is energy, raw and powerful, that you can redirect into growth, resilience, and clarity of purpose. Think of every trial you've endured. The fact that you are still standing, still breathing, still searching for healing, proves something extraordinary. You did not break. The pain tried to bury you, but you rose from it. This is inner power. It is not given to you by anyone outside. It is forged in the fire of your suffering. You may have been left behind, but in surviving that, you have gained a resilience far stronger than those who have never been tested. The question is, will you let this pain weigh you down like a stone, or will you let it sharpen you into unshakable strength? To turn pain into power, you must stop resisting it and start learning from it. Ask yourself, what has this wound taught me about love, about strength, about what I will no longer accept? Pain is a teacher that speaks in silence. It teaches you where you gave away your power, where you ignored your worth, and where you need to rise higher. When you listen to its lessons, the pain stops being a curse and becomes a guide. There is a profound shift that happens when you no longer see yourself as a victim of abandonment, but as someone who has gained depth, empathy, and strength through it. The wound then ceases to control you. It becomes part of your story, yes, but not the end of it. It becomes the fire that forges your new beginning. Your pain is proof of your survival, but your choice to rise is proof of your power. Let that truth sink in. You already carry the strength to transform your wound into wisdom, and your suffering into unstoppable energy. Within each of us lives a part that has often been ignored, dismissed, or left alone, the child who first felt the sting of abandonment. This inner child carries the echoes of loneliness, the fears of not being seen, and the longing for safety and love that was once withheld. To heal the wound of abandonment, you must turn inward and meet this forgotten part of yourself. You must sit with that child, not with judgment or criticism, but with the gentle strength of someone who understands the pain of being left behind. Acknowledging this part of yourself is not weakness, is the beginning of true courage. The child within remembers everything. The moments you felt invisible, the times you begged for love and reassurance, the quiet grief you were not allowed to voice. When these memories surface, do not push them away. Instead, embrace them. Let your inner voice say, "I see you. I hear you." You are not alone anymore. In doing this, you are reclaiming the compassion and care that was denied to you. You are teaching yourself that love begins not with others, but within your own heart. Every act of kindness you extend to this inner child rewrites the story of abandonment into a story of nurture and self-empowerment. Reconnecting with your inner child is also a reclamation of joy and wonder that life may have dimmed. This child remembers how to dream, to feel deeply, and to hope even in the face of abandonment. By listening, nurturing, and honoring this part of yourself, you awaken the capacity to create wholeness from your brokenness. You transform loneliness into self-compassion, fear into courage, and abandonment into a source of enduring strength. When you embrace the child within, you take the first step toward healing that does not depend on anyone else. You learn that you are not defined by who left you, but by how fully you choose to love and protect yourself. In this sacred act of reconnection, the wound begins to close not by erasing the past, but by integrating it into the powerful, compassionate being you are becoming. Healing the wound of abandonment is not only about looking inward, it is also about how you navigate the world around you. One of the most essential steps in this journey is learning to build boundaries that protect your soul. Abandonment often leaves you vulnerable, creating a fear of being left again, a desperate need to please, or a tendency to give more than is safe. Without boundaries, you are constantly at the mercy of others' actions, their choices, and their moods. Boundaries are not walls of isolation. They are declarations of self-respect, lines drawn to safeguard your heart and your energy. To build boundaries, you must first understand your own needs, limits, and values. Ask yourself, what can I accept? What will I no longer tolerate? What nourishes my spirit and what drains it? These questions are the foundation of self. When you answer them honestly, you gain clarity on where to place limits. Boundaries are not about controlling others. They are about controlling how you allow others to impact your life. They are an act of love toward yourself, a refusal to allow anyone to diminish your worth or reopen old wounds. Setting boundaries can feel uncomfortable at first, especially if abandonment has taught you to seek approval or fear rejection. People may resist your limits, or old fears may whisper that you will be left alone again. But the truth is, the boundaries you set are not punishments for others, they are protections for your own soul. By holding firm, you are teaching both yourself and the world that your well-being matters, that your heart is sacred, and that your presence is not negotiable. Boundaries also create space for healthier relationships. When you protect your energy and honor your needs, you attract people who respect you, value you, and honor your presence. You stop giving your heart to those who will not treat it with care, and you open it to those who are capable of genuine, reciprocal love. In this way, boundaries become a bridge from past pain to future wholeness, transforming vulnerability into conscious power. The process is simple in concept, but revolutionary in effect. Protect your heart. Honor your limits, and refuse to let anyone reopen the wound that is healing. With each boundary you set, you reclaim pieces of yourself that were lost to fear, to abandonment, and to the expectations of others. You are no longer at the mercy of who chooses to stay or leave. You are sovereign over your own heart, and that sovereignty is the ultimate act of freedom and strength. The final step in healing the wound of abandonment is the most transformative, stepping into the freedom of self-trust. Abandonment often shatters not only trust in others, but also trust in yourself. You may have questioned your judgment, doubted your instincts, or feared that you could never rely on your own heart. But healing demands that you reclaim this trust, for it is the foundation upon which freedom is built. To trust yourself is to declare that you are capable of navigating life's challenges, that your inner voice is wise, and that you are sufficient to meet whatever comes your way. Self-trust begins with listening truly, listening to your intuition, your feelings, and your inner guidance. Each time you honor your instincts, you strengthen a muscle that may have grown weak in the aftermath of abandonment. It may start with small choices, deciding what you will accept in relationships, honoring your need for rest, or standing up for your own opinions. Every time you act in alignment with your own truth, you send a signal to yourself: I am reliable, I am capable, I am enough. These small acts accumulate, building a fortress of inner confidence that no absence, no rejection, no past wound can penetrate. Stepping into self-trust also means releasing the need for external validation. Abandonment often teaches us to look outward for worth, to constantly seek reassurance from others that we are lovable, competent, or valued. But when you learn to trust yourself, you realize that your validation comes from within. You no longer depend on someone else's presence to confirm your value. You carry your own approval, your own love, and your own guidance wherever you go. This is the true liberation from the chains of abandonment. Trusting yourself does not mean that you will never face pain or disappointment again. Life will always bring challenges. But it does mean that you approach every experience with confidence in your own strength, clarity in your decisions, and faith in your resilience. When you step fully into self-trust, you reclaim your power. You no longer wait for someone else to stay. You are the one who will never abandon yourself in that space. The wound of abandonment transforms into a source of wisdom, courage, and freedom. You carry your scars not as proof of weakness, but as evidence of survival and growth. The pain that once weighed you down now becomes the very foundation of your strength. You are whole. You are sufficient. You are free. And in the freedom of self-trust, you finally rise beyond the past and step fully into the life you were always meant to live. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. And for more content like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to ring the notification bell so you never miss an upload.